Putin and the Russian people, and those that are providing munitions to Russia in this war with the Ukraine. So we're speaking here of Iran, of North Korea, of Eritrea, of China. So where there are munitions from these countries that are supporting this war into the Ukraine. So let's now stand, just envision us holding Putin and Russia and these other countries, where we now are coming into the knowing, the awareness, the embodiment of divinity itself, where Putin knows himself as divinity itself, where Russia knows itself as oneness itself, as unity consciousness itself, as the new spirituality itself, as love itself. So, and this is metaphysical. So as we're here now, I'm looking out onto a screen. Those of you that are with us are looking at the screen at Dee and me. So let's just envision now Putin and Russia and all of these countries where they're coming into the full awakening that you have and I have, which is why you're here. You're conscious, right? We go through this awakening where we go, oh my God, divinity itself is right here, right now. I am a part of the divine. Oh my God, right? This was what the awakening was, where this whole notion of the sacred that we see out in the world, but we see it in ourselves is where it begins, where we understand, oh my God, I'm not separate from the divine herself or his self. She is a part of me. I am a part of it. I'm sovereign to that one body. That the universe, the cosmos, couldn't even exist without me. I'm an indispensable part of the whole, right? This was our own awakening, where we came into this awareness, this knowing. And everywhere we looked, including down, at our own body, and then out in the world, we had this awareness that, oh my God, it is divinity itself. It's that sacred, that precious, that blessed, right? So here then, now, as we envision Putin standing right here with us, and the whole of Russia being right here with us, so where we can actually put our arms around this person in this country. And then let's bring in these other countries, Iran, North Korea, Eritrea, China, where this whole awakening is happening right now. Because as we know, the non-physical realm is supporting this planet right now, right? We're in the midst of this pivot into conscious living, the shift into this whole new way of living on the earth. We've come this long distance. The hardest part of the distance is behind us, right? We know this. That's why you're watching. You're on the conscious journey. And now, here during this program, we're feeling into the beautiful process of awakening to who we really are for this leader and for these countries that are gathered these munitions and that are aiming these munitions at the Ukrainian people. And where we can just see them and feeling them going through the awakening process that we've gone through, where they're understanding, oh my God, I'm the divine itself. I'm inseparable from the whole. I'm part of Godhead, one of the 8 billion faces right here on this planet, where they are feeling that themselves. And as they feel that themselves, of course, what happens, it's happened to all of us, it's why you're here, is we walk through a doorway, right? This doorway into conscious living, this doorway into this whole new way of seeing ourselves in the world. And when we live into it, then it's what we do. We have this new awareness, new understanding, and then we live into it. I'm a part of the whole. I want to be in loving service to the whole. It's just what we do. How can we not? Connection always equals responsibility, always equals positive action if we're mature, right? So this is what's happening here as we envision this leader, these countries, and just seeing and feeling them go, oh my God, why would I be aiming these hypersonic missiles and these munitions at the people of the Ukraine? Well, that's part of me. I'm aiming a missile at myself. Why would I want to do that? Okay, let's really deeply feel into what I'm talking about, because this is when we talk about the metaphysical, we're talking about the quantum field right now. So very consciously, we're up in the quantum field and we're feeling into the truth of these people and who they are and what they're coming to understand in this whole eye-opening, awakening experience and this whole transformation that's occurring. So let's just deeply, deeply, deeply feel into that. We're just like this man of history, David, as he's put in this area with lions where he's protected. The lions don't harm him or hurt him. There's protection and security. This is a story from history. And now we bring the story to life as we place this shield, this protection, this security around the people of Ukraine. Where we're feeling into that, where this is our conscious choice. There's no separation from God. Where God is saying, yes, it is so, with us. So feel into that with us, with Dee and me. Breathe into that. And also just, if you will, kind of take a visual snapshot of this energy, of what we're doing. And that we can walk around in this energy. So all the time. So we can know, sort of like I can be at rest. Because we're creating this security and protection that just remains over the people of Ukraine, protecting these kids and the elderly, men and women, people of many different religions and color and ethnicities and diversity, where they're all protected and they all feel security, and where they all know themselves as one with God and the earth and the cosmos. And this other part that we're bringing in, where Putin and the Russian people and these people of Iran and North Korea and Eritrea and China all are knowing themselves as one with the people of Ukraine, where we all know ourselves as Gaians, the term Jude Currivan likes to use, right? Because we're on the planet Earth, Gaia. We're Gaians, where we all know ourselves as Gaians. Why would we create munitions or do anything to harm or hurt or to take out physical life without being specifically asked to do so? Why would we do that? We're all Gaians. We're all faces of the one right here. So I want to just really deeply feel into that. As you know, where we're creating in the quantum field, where we're metaphysically creating. It's the power of what we feel that creates it, not in our brain, but in our body, where it's not a belief, it's a knowing down deep. We're creating security and peace for a part of ourselves. We're creating protection. We're creating awakening. Creating an embodiment practice where we know ourselves as who we really are. You could capitalize that, who we really are. Because we're all a part of that divine presence, that one presence. So let's just breathe into that here some, into beyond knowing, beyond believing, to feeling experientially what is so. Where we're feeling experientially what is so in the quantum field. You know stories of, I'm sure, Joe Dispenza's story. You heard his spine. This is what he did, right? Everybody knows his story. He didn't go to doctors. He saw his spine healing, each part of his spine healing. Within weeks, he's up and walking and it's completely healed. This is why he's so big out in the world today. Creating in the quantum field, metaphysics, beyond just believing. It's knowing, experiencing what is so. This is what we're doing here, where there's no separation from God, where we're standing in our oneness with God and with the Ukrainian people and the Russian people, people in Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen, Iraq. Okay, and I'm just going to breathe into that here for another minute. And I'm gonna go to D here in a moment, and then I don't know if we can see any questions or statements out on social media that we would want to bring in. But as part of this, let's just the whole continuing process of guidance coming in, protection, support, peace, a continuing process. Let's just see that, where people are guided to just right where they need to be, supported to end that without fear. Protection, enclosing them, and security, enclosing them. God's arms of just pure love, holding them. All of these people, Ukraine, Russia, China, Iran, Afghanistan, Yemen, North Korea, holding God, holding all of them in the knowing of who they really are, with these everlasting lives and infinite potential. They're not just persons with one life to live. We know that. That's why you're here. We're living consciously. We've outgrown these outmoded things that we grew up with. We're just the son or daughter of our parents living with one life to live. We know that, right? That's why we're here. We've shed those outmoded truths that aren't real. We know who we are. Okay, well, Dee had a beautiful thing happen this morning, which was Dee, do you want to share what happened this morning that maybe relates to this?
I would love to, Steve. Thank you. Um, this morning early, as I was getting up, I had a moose in my yard, and the moose is symbolic of receiving God's love and intelligence and caring. And so I thought it was such an appropriate symbol for today. And let's see, I have questions coming in. So
I'll just say too, it was a female moose.
yeah,
And remember the divine feminine energy, which is the healing energy, right? Isn't that interesting? A female moose, the divine feminine there in the embodiment of a moose.
yeah,
Just as which right in your yard, not something that happens very often here in Colorado, right?
it
So,
happens at my house once a year.
yeah. So there you go. I mean, it's like a white dove showing up, or in this case, a female moose. Wow. So we want to pay attention to these things. Yes, indeed. You said there were things we want to bring in.
Yeah, let me grab that really quick. Steve, here's a comment that came in on social media. I'm so afraid of the length of the war in the Ukraine, which has now been over a year. That's from Carol. So, would you like to respond to that, Steve?
Yes. So that it's painful. I mean, it just really is a year-long thing in the Ukraine, and it's painful for all of us. We're humans. We read these news accounts and we see these pictures and videos and things of families and kids, kids that are with loss of life. Fortunately, as we know, we're conscious. There is no death, but still, their physicalized being is ended. It is painful. It's very challenging, and which is why we're here doing this program. Sometimes what happens, as we know, is we have to take these steps back in the world and feel these unbelievable challenges to then take steps forward into this whole shift, this whole pivot into conscious living. You may know, our whole thing as a 501c3 nonprofit and humanities team is what we're calling Changing Humanity's Future, which is making conscious living pervasive worldwide by 2040, where these things that we're doing here in prayer and we're requiring the world around us to manifest, where we live that way. That's what conscious living is, where we're awakened and we're led by that still small voice that's within, which we call God or the divine, but we could call it anything we want, life or love or cosmos, whatever we want. Because where we live this way consciously, where we're led by that still small voice, then it's all loving service. Game over, as far as war and things. Can't happen. Just can't happen. We are transformed. So yes, it is painful that it's been here for a year, and which is why let's do these kinds of things. You'll see us do these things with some frequency, where we come together and really manifest awakening and peace in the world.
Steve, would you like to talk a little bit about what you do personally to raise your energetic being daily? So I know there are people out there that are having a hard time with comprehending how to do this daily.
Yes, you bet. Well, the basics are intention, right? Or intentionality. So when we get up each day, what is this day going to be about, right? And for all of us in humanities team, not just me, boy, it is this. We are looking out on a sacred world, and we see it within, and we see a world that's healing, that's moving and that's journeying to this higher ground of it's a sustainable and flourishing planet, right? And boy, we devote our day to that. All of us with different tasks, different functions, each of us with different gifts that we're giving to that. So I wake up very, very intentional. I'm excited about that. And then in practice is the other, intention and practice. And practice is very personal. as to how we then maintain this connection. And for me, there are many dimensions to it. There's prayer and meditation. The morning is especially powerful for me, where I sit just and devote time. Some where I'm receiving, asking, what do I need to know? And others where I'm affirming the metaphysics of what we were just doing, where I'm just seeing I'm a faucet for the ocean, where God's turning that faucet all the way on, and just that omnipresence, omniscience, omnipotence just pouring, flooding through me to support what he, God, the one, is wanting to create, which is a sustainable, flourishing world. Where I go through a metaphysical process. And then another, which my family thinks is funny, is I've got spiritual music on all the time, and they're saying, "Oh, Dad, you're going to turn that off." So yeah, those are some of the things I do. Right now, I'm looking out right here. There's nature right outside my window, and nature's such a boy. You want to talk about the divine and divinity. There it is. Just look out the window at nature, right there.
Steve, we have gone over a little bit. I have more questions, but I do want to pay attention to the time allotment today. Would you like more questions?
Yeah, no, let's thank everybody. Thank you for being here. The Ukraine, I know, is on so many people's minds. It's on ours. And we had a beautiful person write in and say, hey, do you have anything planned for the Ukraine? Thank you to that person. And we do, we are aware of these things going on out in the world. The thing we need to do, and it's hard because we're humans and we can feel the pain of what's going on in the world, but Martin Luther King just put his finger right on it, right? When he said, the darkness can't heal darkness. Only light can do that, right? So once we get beyond our humanness, where we're feeling the pain of seeing a young child, a baby that's where a bomb is hit and has lost its physical life, once we move past that, then to move ourselves into alchemy, into healing, into this light that Martin Luther King talked about, because this is where our true value is, where we're in love, where we're in light, where we're being metaphysical and intentional. This is where we can really give our gifts. Because if we get stuck at the pain and don't move beyond it, we don't have healing and alchemy that we can bring to the world or to anybody whose life we're touching. So it's so important. This is what we call conscious living, though it goes by many names: oneness, unity consciousness, the new spirituality, many names for it. But it's why you're here. You are living this. You're living this way, where we know ourselves. There's no separation. The optical delusion is gone. We know we're one with God and each other in life, and Gaia herself, and the cosmos for that matter, right? So just invite you to walk in this energy, in this knowing, in this intention, with your own practices that work for you. And if you haven't checked out our Changing Humanity's Future initiative, go to changinghumanitiesfuture.org, changinghumanitiesfuture.org. And then we get into a lot there. We lay out this whole project, this initiative of Humanity's Team, of Neil Donald Walsh, of the Conversations with God Foundation, of Michael Bernard Beckwith, of Greg Braden, and of Jude Curaban, of so many faculty members that we work with. Go read about the initiative, and then join with us if your heart is with us. If you resonate with this, join with us. You can actually join the initiative right there. And of course, we're here for the Ukraine. So as I've mentioned throughout this exercise, not just right now, but always, let's walk around in this whole, where we can feel the protection, we can feel the security, we can feel God herself holding these people, protecting these people. Let's walk in that energy. And Dee, do you have any final comments you want to bring around to people?
Um, One would be, 1 second. Ho'oponopono is an exercise you can use, and it's I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. It's a very touching, easy method for raising your energy and the energy of others. So thank you, Steve, for this wonderful half hour, and thank you to everyone joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Dee. And Ho'oponopono, this exercise, Dee can share it one more time, is also just in where we are with a loved one and where we maybe kind of drift off and we're not as loving as we might be. This is a beautiful little exercise that comes from the Hawaiian Islands, Ho'oponopono, that where we can just create healing right in the very space that we're in any moment. If you want to just share that again, Dee.
I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you.
And beautiful, isn't it? I mean, it's all right there. That is really beautiful. Yeah. Thank you, Dee. And I don't know if we can bring Jim Gray on camera. He's our producer here that set this up. Just Jim, and if you can't come on camera, just want to thank you for this doing this program, and then all of our partners, Nanette Kennedy, Garth Catterall, Andy Guski, all of our partners here in Humanities Team that made this program possible. Again, John Raymer and the Sign Network, I want to thank you all for also helping to extend this program out into the world. So thank you all, and love and peace and blessings to you. And we'll look forward to being back together again here soon here.